Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, and please double tap the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Guys, it's 8 a.m. Listen to me. It's 8 a.m. It's about 35 degrees in Connecticut to be specific. But you know what? I'm not complaining. I'm blessed and thankful. You know what I'm saying? I got a business, man. I started a successful business, a legal documents company, man. Actually, it's performing better than expected. You got to focus on the good. That's what the goal is to focus on the good. Everybody wants to focus on what's wrong or the bad. That leads to depression, that leads to negativity, and that leads to jealousy. We're not trying to do that. So this morning, with Legal Wars Live, what Big Ghost is going to do out here in this cold in Connecticut, 35 degrees, still on the We the People tour. I'll be on the tour to November 15th as promised. We the People number 10 will be in New York City as promised, coming soon. That being said, I do have a new vlog for the people who are coming into the stream, coming into the chat. It's called Out in God's Country, and you can go view it under the video tab right now. And y'all, please like the video. It's getting a lot of views, but we need some support on it. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Google, for the promotion. Guys, this morning we're going to talk about the state of the U.S. economy. So there's new economic numbers that has came out. And so I got a poll down there, and I would like you guys, please, to participate in the poll. And the question this morning, for the people who come into the live stream, is, has President Trump done enough to help the American people? Okay, so as you guys come in, if you're watching this after it was pre-recorded, I'm definitely going to stand up. You know, I have a lot of enthusiasm talking about what I'm talking about this morning, not hating on President Trump. If I could speak to Vice President Vance or to Speaker Johnson or to Marco Rubio, if I could speak to them, I would speak to them on the issues that I see as an American traveling around America and observing and talking to the people. 18 different states, over 100-something cities, man. Real talk. Let's get into the content. Guys, let's kick things off with the government being shut down for nearly a month. Is that news? Is that the same talking point? Under normal circumstances, we would see the United States economy take a humongous hit. But the worldwide investment into AI has the stock market propped up to where we can't see the effects due to the huge investments into AI. I mean, President Trump said within his 10 months into coming into office that he has secured about 21 trillion with a T, 21 trillion in investments into U.S. businesses, with AI and Boeing getting the majority of that 21 trillion. So guys, you might not hear anyone else talking about it, but the United States government, when we say the United States, you're thinking about a collective whole of over 325, about 330 million approximate people. You see what I'm saying? So you're saying the United States, we're talking about the government. We're not talking about the people. There's a difference between the people of the United States becoming wealthy or rich. You know what I'm saying? I talk about it all the time. How many millionaires in the United States? About 9,000. Right? That's wrong. 9 million. Yeah, about 9 million. 8.8 million millionaires in the United States. But you're talking about 330 million. So that's what I'm saying. The objective is, if there's 8.8 million millionaires in the United States, when I leave office, I want it to be 15 million millionaires. Because I know if if you created more wealth within those millionaires, I would say they're not middle class, they're upper middle class. But if you got trickle down economics as your philosophy, my target would be those 8.8 millionaires in the United States. I would want to almost double that. So you know that money would have trickled down from Elon and them and Jeff Bezos, who just got billions, almost trillions of dollars. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying this morning is the American government is getting rich, very rich. He is correct about that. The people now, I'm saying, where have we felt it? Some of the richness, some of the wealth being accrued by the American government is coming from American businesses with those tariffs. So that's what we want to focus on today. The American government, the U.S. Treasury is getting rich. But we're talking about the American people, okay? This is where I want to pick up the live stream. This isn't an indictment against President Trump. I never voted for him 3 times. I'm not a never Trumper. I'm not against him. I don't have nothing against him. All I would talk about is policies and not accusations, but facts of wrongdoing and crime. I'm not going to judge no personal stuff. To me, that's pointless banter because he's been elected twice. If you ask him, he's been elected 3 times. You see what I'm saying? So it's point the American people have spoken, but talking about the policies now, he's in charge. Not only is he in charge, the Republicans control the House and the Senate as well. He can blame the government shutdown on the Democrats as much as he wants to. That's equivalent to him at Trump Towers and him blaming a lack of sales at Mar-a-Lago on his vice president. It might be his vice president's fault. But if he's chairman of the board, it's your job to quarterback that and get those numbers and get that money right. You the boss. You the big boss. You can't blame it on your next in charge. You got to take responsibility. He got his legislation, which is the largest tax break in U.S. history to the richest business owners in the United States. Now, those people, those 8.89 millionaires, that's the target, in my opinion, in his trickle-down economics. If he want to create wealth among the American people, he's already done it with the American government. We're not talking about that. He's going to China this week with the world order on the line. So that American business that he's handling, you can't dispute the severity or the largeness of what he's doing. Him alone, if he can make a deal with China, that's what's with the stock market, man. Those investors, they feel confident because it's him. We're seeing some weird stuff going on because we're going to go over some inflation numbers that do not look good. But I'm gonna tell y'all his cabinet, they side of the story too. I'm fair and balanced. You know what I'm saying? But he got his legislation, which is the largest tax break in U.S. history, richest business owners. According to the Republicans and their philosophy, there's supposed to be a huge hiring boom right now. That's what trickle down economics mean. Tell me where I'm wrong. Trickle down. So I'm going to give Jeff Bezos and Amazon a tax break and he going to go hire people. Is Jeff Bezos hiring people? Because he got the money. That's my biggest hang up with supporting the Republican Party. And if you know Big Ghost, I've said that from the get-go. I do not believe in trickle-down economics. I think it's one of the biggest frauds in U.S. history. So you telling me that I'm going to give this rich dude a tax break and you're going to automatically expect him without no restrictions. I'm going to give him $250,000 extra money a year and you going to expect him. How much was it? Was it more than that? You expect him with the extra money you give to trickle down, hire people. He ain't hiring nobody. I'm saying if I'm gonna give you a tax break, in order for you to get that tax break, it's gonna have to be stipulations that you hire people. The Republicans don't believe in it. That ain't what they believe in. There's no hiring boom right now. Instead, the United States is shedding jobs. If you MAGA right now, you look at that and you saying I'm hating on President Trump. What I'm supposed to say? That ain't no hate. That's just facts. I got stats and truth. The United States is shedding jobs. Yeah, he over in China. Yeah, he handling business. Yeah. I'm not hating on that either. I'm just speaking truth. First in August, and although the government shutdown isn't showing us how many jobs were gained or lost in September, ADP reports show that the job market is on shaky ground at best. At the same time, guys, the cost of living, what I believe President Trump got elected for, inflation, well, those numbers are in, and inflation hasn't gotten better. It has gotten worse. That's what we're going to talk about today. On top of that, SNAP, a food assistance program for the poor, was cut. Medicaid was cut. Healthcare premiums are set to rise by the end of the year. When you look at the stock market, generally those indicators are there. However, in this case, they are not. Man, look at the Chinese. Good morning, Brooklyn. How are you doing? As you guys come in, please double tap the screen, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. Look at the Chinese. If you look at a Chinese citizen, the average Chinese citizen in Chinese yen makes $700 a week. That seemed like good money. But in the US dollars, go get some Chinese yen and let them pay you in yen. And go to the bank and see how much money you get for it. That's bird feed. But they talk about how rich the Chinese government is. We don't want to do that in America, do we? When we say America's a rich country, do we mean just the American government is rich and the American people are starving? Or when we say America is a rich country, do we mean what we mean under Ronald Reagan and his administration? That not only is the American government getting money, but the American people, I'm a patriot. I love this country. I love my country. I love the United States. I want to see the United States win. If you have not heard Ghost say this before, I say this. If I worked for any of those head cabinet people as an advisor, I feel like I would have the opposition, whatever country on the other side of that table, I will have them doing the Chinese, the South Korean, the South Korean bow to that American flag. Boy, I love that flag. I love America. But understand this, what is America? America is 3 branches of government, right? So you have President Trump, that's the executive branch. You have AOC in there and Speaker Johnson in there. Oh, let me get a senator in there, right? That's Congress. And then you have the courts. So that is America, a bunch of documents, constitution and laws, but America within itself is the people, we the people. Ghost is gonna preach the same thing to you guys every time, it's about the people. President Trump is one of us. He's a person, he's a human, he's American, he's a part of we, the people. You never can take your eyes off the people. If I was the president, I would have done for my people first, but hey, you say Big Ghost, the Republicans don't move like that. Big President said he had to get some money first from the tariffs before he come help the people. Maybe that's what he's saying. But I'm saying when I came in, they were already borrowing trillions and billions. But hey, he turned a lot. I can't speak negative about that. That $350 billion that the United States gave Ukraine, he came in there and he turned that. He just moved different. He a businessman. I'm not hating on him. But what I'm saying, if the stock market is still good, setting record numbers, that means either consumer sentiment across the world is a lot higher than you would expect it to be, right? And that sentiment among business leaders outside of the United States that's investing in the U.S. economy, well, that sentiment might be carrying the stock market. But regardless if sentiment is good worldwide, it's not so good to the point to where the majority of American consumers and investors are just feeling that bad about the economy. Because why you say that, Ghost, they keep investing. And the stock market, it keeps rising. However, that does not negate the pain. Listen to me, the pain that the average American is feeling. And President Trump has to be aware of this. How is he going to be aware of the pain that the American people are feeling unless somebody who is among the American people who've been to 18 states, listen to me, 18 states in the last 100 plus days, staying in these states, talking to the people, interviewing the people, the voice of the people. Let's get this straight. You got high inflation, a closed-in government, horrible job numbers, yet and still consumer sentiment is higher than it normally is. Explain that. It's unbelievable. President Trump, he's trying to pull a magic trick. Under these circumstances, it's just business as usual in the United States, right? My argument is that this could be a trap for President Trump. Listen to me now. Ain't nobody hating. We just telling you what's real. I'm not putting your spin on it. I'm not putting no Republican spin on it. I'm not putting no blue spin on it. I'm not putting no Democrat spin on it. I'm just telling you what's real, boy. The truth. My argument is, and I'm a pretty good arguer, I'm ready to go to the appeals court. I've never lost there. The U.S. Court of Appeals. I'm ready, boy. That's when the real me come out. Full effort. It's effortlessly until we get there. My argument is that there could be a trap for President Trump, and that the American people are unaware that a storm is either on the way or already here. And President Trump is governing as like it's business as usual. I'm not saying that I wouldn't either. He out there hustling, doing what he can, which is good. But all of a sudden, the economic downturn just sneaks up on people, and they feel it drastically in their wallets at one time. Or maybe President Trump has the Midas touch, and he might have put a Band-Aid on the economic woes, and the American people might not ever fully feel the downturn. You see, fair either way. Either he can have a Midas touch, and he got like a little Houdini trick and a magic trick, and like stuff might just be like, and we might not never feel it. He might turn around and give people money. Who knows? He got a plan, I'm sure. Has to, right? Or if he just winging it, I'm saying like, you have to have confidence in him winging it. The American people did 2 times. Plurality of the voters. But what I'm saying is regardless though, we still got to look at the numbers, because men lie, women lie, and numbers don't lie. However, I think it will crumble eventually. That's my beliefs. Investments into AI or not, unless President Trump makes a move to help the American consumers and taxpayers individually. I believe that. And unless he knows something that Big Ghost doesn't, those bad numbers, men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. Eventually ended up hurting President Biden and the Democrats. And I just can't see how in the world President Trump and the Republicans would be immune from the same results. Y'all tell me. This the same thing that got President Biden. What I'm saying is how it won't get President Trump. Y'all make that make sense. Guys, one more time before we jump into the news and analysis, I ask that you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys hit that notification bell. And also, guys, in this stream, everyone is welcome. I just ask that you guys be respectful to others. I welcome you guys, Republicans, Independents, and Democrats. Jump down in the comments and let your voices be heard. We're about to start the conversation. One last thing before we do, I do got to pay the bills. I don't have any sponsors yet, or I'm not taking money from no party or no one else, just you guys. So super chats, super stickers, super thanks, they start at 99 cents. If you want to donate to the channel or start a conversation or have your comment read, just hit the button with the $ in it, and your donations are truly appreciated. So our source for those projections and predictions, no conspiracies, that I was giving you is CNBC, and it was published yesterday, October the 24th. The Consumer Price Index, CPI, show a 0.3 increase on the month, putting the annual inflation rate at 3%, both lower than expected. Lower than expected. I'm saying, what can you say? That's not a Republican or that's not a Democrat. That's just facts. I'm reading straight with the news, what they published. And that's fact. Though you run the numbers, make sure that's what everybody say the numbers is. That's what the numbers is. And it was lower than the projections. Excluding food and energy, core CPI showed a 0.2% monthly gain and an annual rate also at 3%, less than forecast. The Bureau of Labor Statistics released the data specifically because the Social Security Administration uses it as a benchmark for cost of living adjustments and benefit checks. Otherwise, the federal government has suspended all data compilation during the shutdown. So the only way we get these numbers. That's why we can't see how bad the job numbers and the this numbers and that number is it's a government shutdown. That's just, it sounds horrible, guys. He ain't gonna run Trump, any Trump business with it being shut down. But I understand politics is different, and the deal making is a lot more fierce. But I'm just saying, prices that people pay for a variety of goods and services rose less than expected in September, according to a Bureau of Labor Statistics report Friday that keeps the door wide open for another interest rate cut next week. The Consumer Price Index showed a 0.3 increase on the month, putting the annual inflation rate at 3%. Economics surveyed at the Dow Jones have been looking for readings of 0.4 and 3.1 respectively. The annual rate reflected a 0.1% uptick in August, like an oasis slacking the thirst of the weary desert traveler. Today's CPI number offer investors the first tidbit of information from the barren wasteland of government data that has existed since the shutdown started on October 1st, wrote John Kirshner, global head of securitized products at Janus Henderson. Investors were not disappointed. Inflation came in softer than expected, leading to a tidbit market rally and ensuring that the Federal will cut rates at next week's open market committee. You see how that's favorable to President Trump, but them inflation numbers are still higher. Inflation numbers still higher. But it's favorable to him. Or you say, well, Ghost, it's not as high as they expected, but inflation is still up, it's still high. That's the thing. The thing is that I promised that I was gonna lower. And it wasn't gonna be that easy, and you can't do it. Not in the whole nature. I mean, bro, Ghost just be giving y'all common sense. The whole nature of the United States economy is that it is a free market economy. So these businesses are able and capable of manipulating prices. They don't think it's manipulating prices. If I worked at Walmart and say out in the South there was like a freeze, so the trucks weren't getting anywhere and the toilet tissue and we needed, and so you raise the prices on stuff. I'm saying, how can you control a business from price gouging? You see what I'm saying? The Democrats got a solution. What the Republicans are called socialism or regulations, which they're against usually. But what I'm saying is, though, really, if you're going to control or you're going to lower the prices, the government will have to get involved hands-on into those businesses and make regulations. That's the only way you can do it in a free market society. And I'm saying the people who know, I'm saying if the main reason you got elected was because of immigration, if that's reason number one, how many of you guys think reason number one President Trump got elected was immigration? That's not reason number one. It could have been a reason with some voters in some areas, but it's not reason number one. If reason number one was that you will solve all the wars in the world, because I'm telling you his promises that he said. I'm saying, but if reason number one is because your whole image is America first, that's your whole image is America first. I'm not hating on them. What's up, piece of guy? You guys, was y'all coming to the screen, please double tap the screen, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. Y'all jump down in the comments, try to be respectful though, man. Listen though, have a conversation amongst yourself, man. Take part in the poll, man. Participate, support the channel, donate. You know what I'm saying? What I'm trying to say though is just if your promise is that I'm going to lower the cost of living, I think that's the biggest concern with the majority of American voters. Who disagrees with that? The biggest concern with American voters is not the Epstein files. The biggest concern with American voters is not transgender rights. That's not the biggest concern. That is among the concerns, but I'm saying if we look at a poll during the election time or you talk to the voters like ghosts do, that's not their biggest concerns. It's usually an economic concern. So that's why they voted for you, is for you to lower the prices. A 4.1% jump in gasoline prices was the largest contributor to a report that otherwise showed that inflation pressures fairly mooted. I'm saying President Trump declared a war on energy. Food prices saw a 0.2% increase. It's not going down. Commodity prices overall rose 0.5%. It's still going up. On an annual basis, energy was up 2.8% and food rose 3.1%. This is what I'm saying. It's been 10 months. You could blame, I guess, Joe Biden for about 2 more months. I give you about 2 more months you could blame President Biden. Then after that, you're going to have to own that, man. I'm saying I heard him come out and say it's going to be hard, and I'm thinking, nah, not hard. It's going to be impossible to get them food prices down like that without you doing some things that the Democrats said you need to do. Ask Mandami how he going to get it down. You can laugh at him all you want to. He went in the election in the largest city in America. You can laugh at him all you want to. If he win that election, you could laugh at he the mayor of the largest city in America. That's a position of extra authority. You could laugh at him if you want to. Within the food index, prices of meat, poultry, fish, and eggs surged 5.2% in the past year. 10 months, man, 2 more years, 2 more months. See, a little piece of President Biden's administration is still in there. But once we get to January of 2026, What you gonna blame on President Biden? You've been president for a full calendar. So when we read within the food index, prices for meat, poultry, and fish and eggs surged 5.2% in the past year. In January 2026, all that blame on you. Go say that 80% of that is on you, man. You done had 10 months. You said you was gonna lower them prices. Y'all, when he said he was gonna lower them prices, how long y'all said he said it was gonna take him to lower them prices? He said day one. That's a promise made. I'm saying if you MAGA, your whole image is America first. That's your whole image. America first. Being in China, being in Israel, and being in Russia is the business of America. And for that moment, in my opinion, that was business number one of America. Those issues are so important. Yet and still, I'm saying now, increasingly so, within the food index, prices for meat, poultry, fish, and eggs, 5.2%. Non-alcoholic beverages, increased 5.3%. And energy, while prices push higher for electricity, up 5.1%, and natural gas up 11.7% over the past year. Gasoline prices actually fell 0.5% during the same period. So they're talking about overall now. You got to understand the difference. You know what I'm saying? Shelter costs, which comprise about 1/3 of the weighting in the CPI, rose just 0.2%. Well, that's pretty good, but we want it to fall. But because it's up 3.6% from a year ago, we need them costs for people to get a place to stay. I'm saying when you see a homeless person, what you do? You laugh at them. You say they need to be euthanized. And then you're going to go to church and say you're a Christian and you like Jesus, because that's not what Jesus was doing with homeless people. I'm saying if you're trying to create programs to get people out the streets, some communities are very successful at that. Up here in the I don't know, New York City's just so big. That's why they give them immigrants and everything, because they have the infrastructure usually to care for their citizens. Up here in New England, they usually do that. But I'm saying shelter costs are up. Services, including shelter costs, are higher. New vehicles are up 0.8%. But used car and truck prices fell 0.4%. So it's positives and negatives. Stock market futures added to gains following the release, while the treasury yields were slightly negative. Inflation might not be slowing, but it's not surprising to the upside anymore, said David Russell, global head of market security at TradeStation. Let me tell you what that man just said. Let me read it for y'all again and see if y'all can pick it up. He says, inflation might not be slowing, but it's not surprising to the upside anymore. Not surprised. It's like people are just like coming to the realization that prices won't be going down. I'm saying if President Trump, like he a Houdini, or he pulling a magic trick, like he controlling the mentality of the people. Because I'm saying that's pretty much what he's saying, that people just are realizing that, hey, the prices ain't going to be going down. They just could adjusting and living with it. They're not mad. If they're not mad about it, then they're not going to vote about it. Not about the prices going down. They can still vote about the economy. They'll still vote about their healthcare premiums skyrocketing. They still vote about different things. But I'm saying the inflation issue might not be an issue. Does that make sense? I'm just giving it to you in a different way. The inflation issue just might not be an issue on the next presidential election like it was this time. The report provides a glimpse into the state of the U.S. economy at a time when all other data releases have been suspended. There's only limited aspects from President Trump's tariff, though they likely have not made their way fully into the economy yet. I like that you guys like the video. Subscribe to the channel. And make sure you guys hit that notification bell so you could come in here every time we go live. And guys, also in this stream, everyone is welcome. I see y'all down in the comments. I thank you for your participation. I just ask that you guys be respectful to others, Republicans, Independents, and Democrats. Keep the conversation going. One last thing, guys, if you guys want to donate to the channel, super chat, super sticker, super thanks. If you want your comment read, want to start a conversation, just hit the button with the $ in it, and your donations are truly appreciated. Also, channel memberships start at $3.99, guys. We need you guys' support, guys. You know what I'm saying? To keep delivering the content and just to show just truth, man. Just get straight to it. We need sponsors like Big Don Lemon said, but my name ain't like Don Lemon, bro. I'm just out here grinding. That boy worked for CNN, making millions. CNN pay him millions a year at one time. He got a name in this. I don't. I'm grinding, man. So I need you guys' support. So anything you could donate when y'all could donate, I truly appreciate it. Guys, we're getting right back to the CNBC story published yesterday. Core good prices saw just a 0.2% gain on the month. Data within the CPI report combined with the customs revenue generated by tariffs indicated a realized tariff rate of just 10%, according to James Knightley, chief international economist at ING. There are signs of a strong substitution effect already coming through. U.S. companies switching to lower tariff countries for their products sourcing with the composition of tariff shifting. That's what Knightley wrote. The result is companies are better able to absorb these most modest than feared cost increases, and there has been less impact on inflation than predicted so far, he said. In time, we expect the realized tariff rate to rise and good prices to be more heavily impacted, but we continue to argue that the tariffs will be a one-off step change in prices rather than something that will lead to more persistent inflation. Look at that. That's a little magic trick. What that says is that President Trump was aware that the tariffs would cause an increase in prices and inflation, and he just pulled a little magic trick. It ain't really hitting like that. All you can do is laugh, bro. I seen the man cut Snap. He cutting the programs for the poor. Listen to me now. Your insurance going up. The prices at the grocery stores is not cheaper. Joe Biden, everybody hate on Biden, and I'm saying he an old man. He couldn't communicate for himself that good. But Big Ghost can, because he had the lowest unemployment numbers in U.S. history. Fact check me. I've said it 30 times. Joseph Biden, the lowest unemployment rate. I'm talking about consecutive months of job growth, hundreds of thousands of jobs. President Trump been in 10 months and he already hit the negatives. People ain't hiring. They investing in the stock market, but they not hiring. They accepting the tax break, but they not hiring. They dumping billions and trillions, business leaders and government leaders into the U.S. economy and stock market. I'm saying that with those investments and with you adding jobs, you still shedding jobs. And those aren't all government jobs. A lot of them are government jobs, but they're not all government jobs. The BLS released the data specifically because the Social Security Administration uses it as a benchmark. Y'all already told us that. Otherwise, the federal government has suspended all data. We already know that. The CPI report was originally scheduled for release for October the 15th. What Ghost is saying is because of the government shutdown, a lot of these numbers, if American business leaders saw these numbers, I think that stock market would be truly affected, possibly even severely affected. If the American business leaders saw those numbers, bro, it would be. That's quite honestly. But the government shut down, so those reports ain't coming out. Usually the stock market tick up or tick down off of those reports. Those numbers show us the state and the movement of the U.S. economy. But hey, like I said, he pulling a magic trick or something, Houdini. In addition to providing a COLA report, the CPI release is the final significant data point for the Federal Reserve will get before it makes the interest rate decision next week. The Fed has a 2.2% inflation goal. The headline measure was the last below that level in February 2021. So if he cuts the interest rates, guys, guess what's going to happen? The economy, the stock market, is going to get higher. The stock market already at record levels. But that don't mean it's not translating to the American people. That's what I'm saying. The American government is getting rich. That's the only good thing out of it. I'm not hating on you, Elon or Jeff Bezos. Get your money. But I'm saying y'all getting rich and the government getting rich, but the people not getting rich. Can we understand this? What you know how many live streams I'm gonna have to do with the same talking points to break it down to where we can understand this in understandable English? The government getting rich, the rich are getting rich. See, Bernie Sanders just gonna tell you about how the billionaires are getting richer and richer and richer. Elon almost a trillionaire. Not hating on him, just being factual. That's what I'm trying to tell you is the American government is making trillions too. That's a great thing. That's the survival of our nation. But the American people, not so much. You cutting and taking from them. The report will clearly keep the Fed on track to cut rates. Houdini, said Art Hogan, chief marketing strategist for B. Riley Wealth. I'm not going to lie, they cut interest rates and you going to buy something like a house or something, that helps you. That affects you. That's affecting you too. But see, we weren't really talking about that this morning. We was talking about the stock market. How that stock market looks so good and the rest of them numbers are going to look horrible. I'm telling you. Them ADP, we can't see official job report numbers, but they not hiring, and that's positive, guys. The Fed has been clear that they are more focused on softening labor data and will continue to defund their employment mandate, even with core CPI well above their 2% target. Markets are pricing in a near century that the central bank lowers its benchmark overnight borrowing rate by a 0.25% point from its current target range of 4% to 4.25%. Traders also are anticipating another cut in December. That's why it's just a crazy set of circumstances that if you are aware of U.S. economics and economic policies, this usually doesn't happen. But what I'm saying is creating some kind of, I don't know, I'm not an economist, you're going to have to talk to them, I'm a political person, but it's creating some kind of wedge or division or something in America that hasn't happened in economics before. Because I'm saying the ordinary American citizen is not feeling the trickle down yet. Where the trickle down? That should have been the name of the stream. Where is the trickle down? You made a bunch of moves. You made some promises too. Made a bunch of promises. But you didn't went out there, you done made a bunch of moves. Bunch of moves. And I'm going to China. And I'm increasing the wealth of America. I got investors. That's only 20% of the American population, guys. It's only 20% of the American population that's investing in the stock market. If you count the 8.8 million people, you count the investors that's benefiting, like all the rich people and stuff, not just the small mom and pops businesses. I'm talking about, 8.8 millionaires. Not all of them are investors. Some of them are just trying to make money, hotel businesses, restaurants, make a living. I know some of them in Houston, I met them. I've had business with him. I filed lawsuits against him. I'm well knowledgeable in what I'm speaking of. So I would say his policies are beneficial to about 28 to 29% of the American population. That 28 or 29% is very powerful, and they're loud. We're not talking in politics. We're talking in the business world. We talking politicians, but all Americans. About 29% of the population, that's about a third of the population, I could say that I don't have to see no poll. The poll might reflect what I'm saying, but regardless of what the poll's saying, I'm saying about 28 to 29% of the population, his policies are beneficial to. That might be enough. I'm saying what you getting when you making America money, the United States Treasury, the United States itself. But I'm saying if you want to really be the president of all Americans, it ain't trickling down. Maybe I'm too early. Am I too early? Speaker Johnson? President Trump, I'm too early. Scott B, I'm too early, because I'm saying it's not trickling down. Yeah, there was a recession predicted in 2023, 2024. There was a recession or economic downturn to be predicted this year. And it just happened President Trump won. If President Biden was president, they still would have had an economic downturn predicted, a recession predicted. It's just facts. So, like, it's just part of that. It's just a cycle. It's an economic cycle. It's a cycle like any other cycle we have in life. Just like that inflation uptick, after COVID, it was just due. And the prices wasn't going to go down. But President Trump, the reason why you got to apply the pressure, because he compared himself with President Biden, and a lot of it, a lot of his votes came from that comparison, the economic comparison. And I'm saying one of the premises that he was going to stand on is that he was going to lower the price of everything. You talking about if you're saying a golden age, who is a golden age for? You're going to have a golden age in America for billionaires. That's not no golden age. That's not what Ronald Reagan did. Let me tell you about a Republican president who did something to help all of Americans. So if you have Democrats, you heard of Reagan Democrats before. It's a lot of Democrats who like Ronald Reagan now. Listen, what Ronald Reagan did, he changed the U.S. tax code. So any female who has a child who makes less than a certain amount of money, she gonna get a tax break on her taxes. So you think of I know when I'm a black male, bro, I be through the hood, in the hood, around the hood, or not out the hood. This happened in the suburbs too. Not just black people, but white people too. Them girls get $10,000, $12,000 tax rebates. That's Ronald Reagan policies. That's been decades after he has even passed away. Rest in peace to greatness. Rest in greatness, President Reagan. Decades after he done passed away, it's still benefiting poor people. See, that's a president for all Americans, not just rich people, not just billionaires, or not just the 29%. Those young tech groupies, all these young dudes, you got a section of the American population, young male who look at Elon like he Tony Hawk or something. So they all into Bitcoin, they invest in, and a lot of them, you get a lot of young men who get lucky. 29% of the American with his policies. If you are an investor, you are happy. If you they invest in, like, you got all kind of investors, people who have They gamblers. You know what I'm saying? In a sense, and they take their money and they put it in the stock market. You got day traders, all kind of those kind of that set. They're 29% of the population. But I'm saying worries persist that the Trump tariffs could cause another round of painful inflation. At the same time, Fed policymakers worry that a slump in hiring this year could spread, though layoffs remain low. The layoffs are not good. People aren't hiring. I'm saying one of the first things you probably should do is figure out how to get them hiring. Because I'm saying as soon as the government opens or reopens, that's another thing within itself. That's a whole stream within itself. The second largest government shutdown in U.S. history, and it's on the verge of being the longest government shutdown, and you presided over both of them. Hey, Big Ghost, the Democrats playing politics. I think their argument is pretty solid. I think if you talk to any American, the Democrats' argument in this situation is pretty solid. No, nobody don't want to see people's health care. They saying that 4 million Americans are going to lose insurance altogether. And Speaker Johnson, they said that they not illegal immigrants. And they're going to lose health insurance, Medicaid altogether. They're saying that all the millions of Americans, their premiums are going to skyrocket. Some of y'all's voters, regular people, that's what they fighting for. You can play politics, but I'm saying if you saying America first, I'm not hating on being in China. The balance of world power, you need to go over there. You need to convince the Chinese to separate from Russia, because I think Putin is a war criminal. That's my personal opinion. I've been said it. I don't care what nobody think about it. He ain't nobody friend. He wasn't President Obama's friend. He wasn't President Bush's friend. He wasn't President Biden's friend. That's bipartisan. He is an enemy of America. That's what I believe. Him having Crimea, in my opinion, is a violation of international law. If you saying to let him have a huge chunk of Ukraine, that is rewriting the world order, meaning that is the first time that international borders have been, is it not the first? We can look it up. But that's a violation of international law. That's why they put them charges on him in the International Criminal Court. War criminal. So if he could get China, because see, if you understand what really going on in the world, so if he could get China or try to be friends with China or whatever with China, if you could get the work done, the pictures on TV gonna be awesome. All the political junkies, that's all the people gonna see, but we talking about what's going on behind the scenes. Tariff-sensitive apparel prices saw a 0.7% increase in September, while durable goods moved 0.3% higher. Fed Chairman Jerome Powell and his colleagues have expressed generally cautious tones about the pace of rate cuts as they weigh the threat of inflation against weakness in the labor market. For his part, Trump has insisted that inflation is no longer a problem and the Fed should be cutting aggressively. Guys, I ask again that you guys will like the video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure y'all hit that notification bell. Speak the truth. What's up, man? How y'all doing, man? Good morning. Good morning. Out here in New England, man, started off, it was 35 degrees Fahrenheit. We the people tour, baby. We outside. Ain't nobody crying. We blessed and thankful. This is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. Guys, everyone in the stream, I ask that you guys would jump down in the comments. I see you guys having your conversations about it. You know what I'm saying? Republicans, independents, and Democrats, that's the story. It's been about 7 minutes, man. I try to do that in about an hour, man, to give you guys the content, the news, and my perspective. My political perspective and opinion on the situation, I came, I saw, and I conquered. But guys, I ask that if you want to donate to the channel or if you guys want your comment read, I'm going to get down in the comments and I'm going to have a couple discussions with y'all this morning. If we're talking about the politics, if you guys care to, you know what I'm saying? I ask that you hit that button with the $ in it. And your donations are much appreciated, guys. It's fall time in New England. Everywhere you look, you see them leaves, them colorful leaves and them trees. The pictures can't do justice. Guys, yesterday I was out in God's country. You feel me? You feel me? Big ghost rider. Yesterday, guys, I was out in God's country, man, you know what I'm saying? So I rode about 30-something miles or whatever to the north, south, east, west. To the east, you know what I'm saying? Like a little spot. The river is Houstonic. I don't know how you pronounce it, but it's got a word in it like Houston. You know what I'm saying? Like it's Houston. You know what I'm saying? But it's like the Houstonic River, some river like that or something like that. And it's out in New England, man. I mean, in Connecticut, you know what I'm saying? So I rode out there, God's country. I recorded that vlog yesterday, and that vlog is available to be viewed on YouTube currently, guys. You know what I'm saying? So I would appreciate it if you guys would mosey on over to the video tab and help me with the promotion, you know what I'm saying, to get the support, man. That's the thing about the channel. I get a lot of love from people, you know what I'm saying, powerful people, you know what I'm saying. I've used in this channel to give myself a voice. And not give only myself a voice, to give others a voice. And people don't understand how much of a voice you can have if you would be willing to participate in the process and not be scared. Because we the people, man, like I love my country. And a lot of people might have some hatred against President Trump. I don't hate President Trump. I tell you guys as a matter of fact, and I told my mama this, man, like, look, I like a lot of people in President Trump's cabinet against most of the Democrats, whatever. You see what I'm saying? I like Kristi Noem, man. To me, she one of the best Homeland Security chiefs we ever had. I like Pam Bondi. We've had a lot of good attorney generals, so the judgment to me on is not out yet. I need more time to make that judgment. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying, like, man, like I like his style. Marco Rubio, I love Marco. Been liking Marco. He's been one of my favorite Republicans for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Pete Hegseth. I think JD is very intelligent. Like, you know, so I don't have nothing against Stephen Miller. The only person in his cabinet that I say that I don't agree is Tom Homan, because of those accusations against Tom Homan. I think he needs to at least, you know what I'm saying, there needs to be an accurate investigation against Tom Homan for what he was accused of. That's my opinion. But other than that, man, I don't have nothing against President Trump. I'm going to just speak the facts. And the facts are, at this current time, yes, the American government is raking in trillions of dollars. The facts are, yes, at this time, Elon is raking in hundreds of millions of dollars. Jeff Bezos, all the rich people, not just the rich people. You got 8.8 millionaires in America, which to me are the focus on trickle-down economics. That's how I will grow the wealth, is to increase the number of millionaires in America. My thought is, if you have 8.8 million millionaires, if I can increase that to about 14 million millionaires in my 4 years, that's actually that's, you could say, goes the wealth trickle down. This is the Republican philosophy. We gave all the richest people the tax cuts, including those not just 8.8 million. That's why I said 29%. Because then you got to go, people who make $800,000 a year, they're wealthy. They're well off. Those people are not complaining against his policies. I'm saying if they're a Democrat, it's a lot of rich Democrats that complain about President Trump's policies, but it's helping them. Makes no sense. All the millionaires in America, I look at them as they should be supporting him because his policies benefit them. I mean, he'll throw a little he threw a little crumbs down. Oh, I'm gonna get a tax cut. What he say? What he giving no tax on tips? Y'all want to look up no tax on tips? Y'all want to look up no tax on overtime? That's like crumbs. That's like not even real crumbs that you throwing down to the people. America's got it. The rich people got it. Your philosophy is gonna trickle down. So I guess it got to trickle down to the millionaires, and then trickle down to them 800,000 a year, trickle down to the 500,000 a year, trickle down to the 100,000 a year. 100,000 a year here in Connecticut. You struggling. 100,000 a year in Connecticut. You struggling. Dude, $2,000 in rent is a good price, and you talking about 1,000, 1,500 square feet. You paying $2,000 a month. So times 24, that's 25,000 out there. 100 you paying, and if you get 100,000 a year, you're not getting a whole 100,000. Uncle Sam gonna take at least 15,000, depending. So you get 85,000, you paying rent 25,000. So bam, you down to what? $60,000. Your car note and insurance, that's gonna be about 6, 7, 8,000. Then you down to what? About 50 something. Don't have no kids or no girl. Where you going out spending money, paying $100 for 2, 3 people, 4 people eating. $100,000 for a man with a family of 4 up here in New England, you struggling. You see what I'm saying? Once you get under 250,000, you start getting into the struggling. And 200 people, you look at the numbers, the people who make under 250,000, that's the vast, not the majority of Americans, but the average per capita income is $60-some thousand a year for an American. That's the richest. That's not the richest in the world. Actually, it's not. I don't think it's top 10. That's what I'm saying. The American government is getting money and getting rich, but the people, not so much. Just Elon and them. So it's supposed to trickle down. Where's the trickling? That's why I disagree with the Republicans, their philosophy of stimulating the economy. The way I would do it, and the way the Democrats believe, is you start from the bottom up. Elon and them getting that tax break, let them wait for their blessing. They already got millions of blessings. Elon got billions in blessings. Let him wait for his blessing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come and start from the bottom up. That man who got 2 kids and his wife, and he making $60,000 a year working in Michigan at Ford, and he's struggling. That man right there, I'm a bless and help him have access to the American dream. That's what the Democrats believe. Start from the bottom up. This man is making 60. I know I got a homeboy, one of my best friends in Mississippi. He owned a business. My boy, he probably make about 80 to 100,000. Him and his wife, they make close to 200,000 a year. He might not be struggling, but he live in Mississippi though. So I'm saying it just depends, those policies. It just depends, those policies, where you at. But I'm saying to be safe, looking at those numbers, I know I promise I'm going to get the cost of living down on day one. And I look at that number, and now you ain't close to doing what you promised to do. And they're the jobs, and you go, so you saying President Biden's the worst president ever, but I'm saying his job numbers are better than yours. President Trump, that's facts. I'm not hating on you, bro. I'm saying me being a disabled veteran and doctors telling me that I cannot work, and your Republicans are telling me to get a job. But I attempted to work for 27 years. I can name 3 employers I worked for over a year. 3 out of over 50 in 27 years' time. I got a record of 27 years of attempting to work. Okay? I work for 50 employers plus. 50 might be generous. More than 50 employers. And I only have 3. One of them including the U.S. Army. I don't know if you count that as an employer. But I only have 3 that I was employed for over a year. The Army, just because I had to. You can't go nowhere. You try to run, you're going to jail. Yeah. But only 2. And they were restaurants. I worked for over a year. I can, in 27 years, I can, and the same Republicans that tell me to go get a job, they don't believe in helping people. Their policies don't work for me. When VP Harris, because I'm saying I'm a business owner too, I own a business, your policies got to work for everybody, man, not just the rich. You could come and you could try to laugh and you can scoff at anybody you want to. You could try to make somebody sing or feel bad. Well, I don't care about none of that stuff. To me, that's a little childish stuff. I'm not going to continue to engage in childish stuff. I have lawsuits. I got lawsuits I still ain't filed. If I want to argue, I'm going to argue for money. If I'm going to put effort in something, I'm going to put effort into the money. In the court system, I'm not putting enough effort into that. I'm putting a lot of effort into here for a little bit of money, and I'm spending and investing money too. That's what I'm saying. How much money? It's about the bread. That's what it's about. And if the poor ain't seeing it, I made less than 50,000. I don't care how much money you see me. I got less than 50,000 passed through my hands. As a disabled person, I really can't complain because I got a pretty good bit of money for someone who don't work. Got more money than if you did work. I do a lot of stuff. I feel I'm blessed and thankful. I don't care what nobody say. The situation that I'm in my life as a justice fighter, I feel like I'm walking through a trial or a tribulation, and I'm blessed while I'm doing it. Like Job, how many Christians we got in this dream? Was Job like you? Oh, you're doing bad. You need to be crying. Look how you're living. Oh, my goodness. Was Job like that? No, he got on his knees and he started praising God. Thank the Lord. Thank you, God. God, thank you. Yeah, that's the kind of person I am. Yeah, a messed up Christian and everything. Thank you, Lord. That's genuine. That's not no faking. That's genuine. I'm blessed and thankful. This is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. Now, you come change spots with me, Mr. Preacher Dude, Mr. Rich Dude, Mr. Comfortable Christian Dude, Mr. FBI Agent, Mr. Whoever. You come trade spots with me and let me see if you got character and like this. Because I'm saying them Navy SEALs go up there in them woods and sleep in them woods. They'll do it in Afghanistan, not out here in Connecticut. This Connecticut, and I'm not sleeping in no woods. I'm in a BMW, boy. I'm not sleeping in no woods. I made a choice to fight for justice. That was a choice to fight for justice. I made a choice to fight for justice. I did. I was being harassed, and I made a choice. And I stand on that choice. I don't care what nobody say. Y'all could get ready for the 5th Circuit of Appeals. That's when I'm going to try. I'm going to put that effort. Until then, it's effortlessly. It's all effortlessly until we get to the Court of Appeals. It's time for me to shine. And to do that new lawsuit. Lawsuits coming, man. That ameliorate legal. No one can hate on ameliorate legal. Who know the story. You can't hate on that. So what you hating on me? Me choosing to defend my rights, my civil rights? Me making a choice to defend my civil rights? You hate on that instead of trying to reach out your hand and benefit and help. I mean, people are who they are. You can't make or change nobody for who they be or what they are, but that's just what that is. Y'all, please double tap the screen, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. If you guys want to hook a brother up, man, you know what I'm saying? Y'all hit the button with the $ in it, and your donations are much appreciated. Pizza guy, he said he paid $30K in tax dollars. I didn't pay no $30K in tax dollars. I have business write-offs, bunch of them. You want to see receipts? You want to, bro? You talk about I done this for decades, bro. This year alone, I paid about $4,000 or $5,000 to Wyndham in hotels. $5,000 in hotels. I got the receipts. Most recently, in the end of August or the beginning of August in Tennessee, $5,000. I got receipts, boy. Yeah, I'm saying I don't care who come for me, bro. You gonna get countersued. I'm a disabled veteran. I'm standing on that. Yes, ma'am. What's Laura Coates on CNN? I be watching her, bro. He gorgeous. Well, her name Laura Coates. Yes, ma'am. I'm a disabled veteran. Yes, ma'am. That's what I am. You come playing with me, I'm a countersue the snot out you without remorse. Lawsuit after lawsuit. Anyone it don't make no sense to dismiss a case with me because I'm gonna go to a higher court. So when you dismiss a case, you give my business prestige. They don't understand that model. That's my business model. I'm a legal documents preparer. If any law firm is doing a case in the U.S. Court of Appeals, that's the second highest court in America. Really, that's the highest court for most of us because it's very few people. The Supreme Court ain't even gonna hear your case. You appeal to the Supreme Court, you could say, hey, I wrote a writ in the Supreme Court, but they ain't gonna hear your case, most likely. So I'm saying the U.S. Court of Appeals, bro, that's prestige for me. I've done it before. That's the biggest thing I did is winning. Bro, I put look, somebody told me all I got is a BMW and a blue folder before. Hey, this blue folder, if you a legal person, this blue folder means everything. You see what I'm saying? Because this blue folder, you have to use this blue folder and you have to use this binder. And I'm talking about this is the appeal that won. This is the greatest accomplishment. How many people you know won an appeal in the U.S. Court of Appeals? Not many. A regular person just writing an argument on some papers in a court that high. Bro, lawyers don't do that. That's what I'm trying to say. So if you let me go to the court, that's when I'm going to shine. Bro, I'll be playing with people until it's time when I have to get you because you got to pay the money. You ain't getting out of it. You paying the money, every dollar. Y'all run it to whoever you want to. I said that. However long you want to take or however you want to do it, I can't control that. I can't control no judge. He said stay in my lane. Yes, sir. I heard that. I'm in my lane, but I know in my lane, we going to a higher court with them 3 benches, them 3 judges, and I'm finna do, how many pages is on this? 22 pages on you. I got 22 pages on you. 22 pages. I got 22 in a blue folder for you. Hey, bro, and I'm gonna start praising and worshiping God. How I fight my battles, because this is huge to me. Yeah, that case in the court, you expect that little, like the movement. I'm not disrespecting no one. Growth. You expect the movement or whatever goes on behind closed doors. But what I'm saying is this is greatness right here, this blue folder. I want 2 of them. I want 5 of them. What color the folder is in the Supreme Court? As a regular person. That's greatness. What's the greatest thing you accomplish? What do you do for a living? Bro, winning an appeal in the U, that's a fight. That only 9% of attorneys win. Of attorneys. 9% of attorneys in the world. Only 9% of attorneys win that fight. I'm just a regular guy. No law license, never been trained by an attorney. Effortlessly, bro, without an effort. Just get on the computer, type, oh, look what he said. He said, don't even read this whole document. Read like half a page of it. Because I know he ain't read the complaint. Because he's saying I didn't do A, B, and C that I clearly said in the complaint. You could read the complaint. But I'm going to save that for those 3 judges on the, that's the big leagues. That's as high as you could get, really. Because the Supreme Court, you going to write a writ, but he probably ain't even going to hear your case. You get lucky. You might get lucky, but more than likely, you write a writ in the Supreme Court, he ain't going to hear your case. So that means the highest that I'm going to do is this. And I write cases in federal court and I want to collect these blue. This means if you a legal person, you know what this. If I go to my mama's attorney, he a decorated 40-year lawyer, the third in Biloxi, Mississippi, and he see this blue folder and he know this is a court folder. This blue folder, it means something to them. To y'all don't even know what it means. The court is color coordinated. You ain't gonna find no blue folder in no regular federal court, boy. Yeah, boy, a blue binder. I don't want no, and then in my style too. It's so easier for the judges to, them thick binders they be have. I don't know binder. What he said, it got to be pronged and it got to have pockets. I don't know thick binder. Ghostwriter got a little baby folder, so it's easy for them to maneuver and all that extra weight. And you got extra room and attorney be writing 3,000-page appeals. Man, I ain't got time for all that. Index and everything by law that's going to be in it. Let's get it. That's greatness. And I praise my God for that victory. I need that victory, Lord. I need that victory because I'm building a Miller Legal. A Miller Legal, my business is going to take me to everywhere I need to go. It's just going to take time. You got to go through trials. You got to fight. Thank you, piece of God, for that donation, baby. I love you. Look, bro, you got to understand this. Understand this and feel me on this. I already won. I got 30, how many thousands? 40,000. You want to get on the phone and call her? Where the phone at? Let's call her. She might, boy, I ain't going to talk about that on that. Don't be calling me on that. You know what I'm saying? But I already won. She already won. You just got a little bit of time. That's it. President Trump, if you come through, the car says 37 degrees out there. I brought y'all that content. President Trump, if you come through though and you bless somebody, if somebody get blessed, then we gonna give you congratulations for the blessing. But until that happen, that's what that is. Somebody said good luck to me. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Man, I'm not hating on nobody. That's what y'all gotta understand. That's the growth, man. I don't care what nobody say. They expecting me to say, oh, I'm in a bad situation. Really, on the court documents, I'ma tell them because that's what the situation is. Well, I'ma lie. But I'm saying, while I'm out, I'm gonna make the best of the situation. I got I left Texas, okay, 2 years. I did the Texas tour 3 months, and then when Social Security cleared me, I went to Mississippi. When I got to Mississippi, I'm chilling with my mom on the beach. I hadn't been here in 3 years. It's Biloxi, bruh. It's Mississippi, but it's on the water, bruh. Flip-flops, beach life, having fun, bruh, having a great time. And then some stuff happened. And I had to make a choice. I could either I don't know how I could put up with that because that was going to be a bad situation for me. I could stand up for myself for justice. So I decided to stand up for myself for justice, and it brought me to New England. On the way to New England, bro, I'm going to celebrate life, and I'm going to still give praise and thanks to my Creator, regardless of what I'm going through. You think when things going good is the only time you praise God? I'ma praise God. Whether if it rains, I'ma praise the Holy Creator. His name is Jehovah Jireh. Lord, thank you. If the sun's shining, I'ma praise my Holy Creator. When I had 15, 16 racks back in the end of last year, praising God. Y'all go look at the content. When I got 20-some $1,000 this May, I thank President Trump. I put the MAGA hat on and I praise my God. And when I made the decision, I left Mississippi with about $3,000-$4,000 to embark on this journey of justice. That's how I look at it. It's how you looking at it. Your perspective on this journey of justice. When I decided to embark on this journey of justice, I'm praising my God. Plenty of angels out here in Connecticut. Plenty of them. They everywhere. Angels. Human angels. They got the spirit of that Jesus to where they want to help people. Real live human angels. They everywhere in this community in Connecticut. You got bad people. You got that's everywhere you go. But I see good, my baby. What we eating for breakfast, baby? I see nothing but good. You know what I'm saying? What can I say? As soon as I got to Connecticut, y'all know at first I had Blue Cross. Y'all know that Blue Cross card I used to sell. I used to show y'all that Blue Cross card. That Blue Cross card, that was Obama's policies. That the health premiums went up before President Trump even got into office. They weren't going up under President Biden, but I still couldn't afford it. So President Trump's policies would have crippled me. But you know what I'm saying? I'm just real. They did it, and now I got the health insurance now. State of Connecticut didn't have a problem. But we saying President Trump, you can't cut that Medicaid. You can't cut no assistance. I'm a disabled veteran. I'm disabled, my brother. You cutting and hurting us. Your policies is hurting us. President Trump is devouring us. That's the message. Y'all tell me why I'm wrong. It's helping 29% of America. What about the other 71, y'all? Piece of God, what about the other 71, man? Guys, those channel memberships, $3.99. If you guys want to become a member of the channel, I would truly appreciate it. The button with the $sign in it, like my boy Pizza Guy or my girl Pizza Guy, I appreciate you. I got mad love for you guys. I just come on here and try to deliver the truth. People look at me, people judge me, man, I could care less about that. This is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. Ain't nobody could say, dude, I haven't been to church in how many years? I passed out hundreds of these right here this year that I wrote and paid for. I ain't making $1 off telling people about God. I'm not doing it for a profit. I have never made $1. You know what I'm saying? Haven't been to church though, but I still, and I worship, and the scriptures in my heart, and I practice. You can't judge me. I know where I'm going. I know I got God's name written in my forehead, boy. I belong to God. That's facts. But people judge me as a Christian. Some people, they don't, but I don't care about none of that. I just live, man. You know what I'm saying? But y'all, that's my time though, man. I'm finna get on down. Peace of God. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate your love. Anybody show some love, man. I appreciate it. Truth Network, man. Let me see, get down here. What he say, man? Blue states take care of their people. Blue states do take care of people. That's just facts. The Democrat, bro, I believe in a democratic economic policy. Looking at the poll, has President Trump done enough to help the American people? 121 votes. Thank y'all so much for participating. And the 121 people, 28% said yes, 47%, the overwhelming majority says no, and 25% says he hasn't even attempted. That's 72% of the people saying that he has not done enough to help the American people. President Trump, that's no hate on you, man. People take stuff like that, they take it personal, and they heart be hurt. People come at me all the time. I got a disability, a behavior disorder. It's related to my behavior, but that behavior affects my thoughts and my behavior. Okay, so I got a disability, so I act out of character, but it's still that's based on I have a recognition, or I couldn't be the president, but I could tell him because I could recognize and understand in certain situations, bruh. The way you respond to and how you deal with certain situations, that's so important. So important. But in the blue states, though, yeah, they do take care of people. They believe in I believe you stimulate the economy from the bottom. You help the weakest. The strong is already strong. Why Elon, they create the jobs. They create the jobs. Yeah, they do, but they ain't creating no jobs when you gave them this tax break. So you're going to give them another tax break so they could create the job. And the meanwhile, you stepping on the American people, the poor, they getting hurt. You taking and cutting from them. It's not right, man. In no way possible is it right. I'm saying that's what President Trump and them believe. That's the reason for the government shutdown. That's what they doing. That's what happened. I'm saying from here, where do we go? But I'm saying those policies right there are not right. And it's hurting the American people. And I think in my personal mind, that's one of the reasons why it took so long for the Republicans to again win a popular vote. Because, I mean, I just don't think their policies are beneficial to the American people. I don't care how you try to gerrymander what you do. I just think that some way, or the Democrats are going to find a way around it. You see what I'm saying? And they're going to, you know what I'm saying? So that's just what I think. Peace of God. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. I told you I'm a Christian. Bro, I went to God, man. You see what I'm saying? And I asked God to forgive me of my sins in August of 2018. I accepted his death as the sacrifice for my sins, not just the sins that I committed right then. He died one time, and that one death forgave me for the sins I was committing when I was 12. I was committing when I prayed to him when I was like 37, and the sins that I committed last night. He forgave me, so that means I cannot sin. That's what I cannot sin mean. I hear people saying that if you sin, you're not a Christian. People believe in works. When he died, that was the work. When you accept him and he forgives you, that is salvation. That means you saved. At that point, that's when you're forgiven for all your sins. You cannot sin. That's what I cannot sin mean. When I accepted him and he forgave me, how can I sin? Because his blood washed away those sins. God can, he's not a human. He know what you're going to do tomorrow. It's been forgiven. But that being said, my relationship with him, I'm not going to just go out there and just do anything because I know it offends my creator. I love my creator. Even in a bad situation where most people get discouraged and start blaming God, I decided to put on my big boy shoes, walk through that discouraging situation for justice, because I believe in justice. But while I do it, I'm going to enjoy myself. And I'm going to say, this is the day the Lord has made. Every day I wake up thankful. I will rejoice and be glad in it. Guys, I'll be live again probably on Monday morning, I would think. If not Monday, on Tuesday. But guys, I'll see y'all early next week. Look, I want y'all, please, I'm going to see the likes on the video because the video got a whole bunch of views. That's me. I'm promoting it. Google. But what I'm saying is I need you guys, as y'all watch the video, please go watch the video and hit the like button, support it. Because if they pushing the video to people who don't really know me, they might be seeing it, but they seeing it as a commercial. I'm saying for you guys who know me, y'all come in here all the time, y'all listening to me, y'all following me, y'all believe in me, and I appreciate y'all and I love you. Family members, whether I know your name or not, friends, whoever, I'm saying please go to the video tab, Out in God's Country, man, brand new vlog up. Man, appreciate your love, appreciate your support. Make sure if you have not liked this video, you double tap the screen, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell, man. It's a Truth Network. I'll see y'all early next week. I love every last one of y'all. Jesus loves y'all too. Never forget that. Forget what a man says. God loves you too, man. He loves you with all his heart. Okay? I'll see y'all next week, man. Y'all be good. Have a great weekend.